Good morning and happy Sabbath, everyone. For your health tip today, we are going to talk about the chickpea. Now, in India, where there's a large portion of the population who are vegetarians, they actually use a chickpea as their main source of protein. You see, the chickpea is an ideal food. It helps to reduce cholesterol, it helps with constipation, and it even works in strengthening the nervous system. The chickpea also nourishes and it is very balanced because it contains a lot of energy. The chickpea is also a good source of the most important nutrients, with the exception of B12. It has provitamin A, C, and E present. Even though it's only in a small amount, it is still very much present. Now, the remaining nutrients are well represented. For example, protein. There is a significant amount of protein in chickpea, about 19.3%, which is equal or even superior to meat or egg sources. It has less protein, though, than some plant sources, for example, soy, lentils, and beans, but it's still protein rich. It is a complete protein. Why? Because it contains all the amino acids, which means the essential and the non-essential. Now, there is an exception, the methionine. And sometimes people tend to, because it's lacking in that, they tend to use that. But here's a tip. If you were to combine chickpea with any grain, wheat, or rice, then now you would have a totally complete meal. Chickpea also has a good source of carbohydrates, about 43.3%. Now, it's a very rich source. Now, starch is actually dominant. Starch is transformed slowly to glucose during digestion. But here's a caution. It should be well chewed and salivated. Remember, digestion begins in the mouth. So as you eat your food, remember it is important to masticate your food apart from, peristalsis and many other things that is triggered. It also has a source of fat, not a lot. It has 6.4%. Now that is more than lentils or beans, but of course it's less than soy. It also has our B vitamins, which are most abundant in chickpeas. It helps with proper nervous system function and the reduction of heart attack risk. The minerals such as phosphorus, potassium, calcium, and zinc is also present, but iron actually is almost 3 times than that of meat. It is an almost complete food. It has good nutritional portion and it is well balanced. Now, chickpea can be used as a main dish because of these reasons. When we look at the traditional Mediterranean diet, we see that it is a healthy diet. It is one that constitutes those individuals that live the longest, the blue zone people. So getting back to chickpeas, if we eat chickpea on a regular basis, and I would recommend eating chickpea on a regular basis if you have things like an increased cholesterol. Why? Because the fiber impedes the absorption of cholesterol and from other foods. Now, also, chickpea is really good for constipation because of the fiber. It helps to stimulate the intestinal peristalsis. So when you have increased fiber, and you remember I told you to chew your food properly, you find that when peristalsis is increased, things flow through easier. So your bowels can get clean. If that pushing is happening, your bowels can get clean. Now, chickpea also, if you have some functional disorders of the nervous system, and that may be due to vitamin B deficiency, for example. For example, you might be irritable, nervous, or just can't even concentrate. Chickpea is a really good food for that. It is good for stress and depression as well. And finally, chickpea is also very good for pregnancy. it's ideal. It's an ideal source for women who are pregnant because remember we said before it's rich in folates, and that when folates is present, it's good for the nervous system. It helps with the defects in the fetus. So I want you to remember today, chickpea has a high content of protein, iron, and other minerals, and it is an excellent source of zinc. So if you're not used to including chickpea in your diet and regimen, I would encourage you to increase your chickpea intake. It is such a beautiful food. God bless and have a happy Sabbath.